Welcome back. The playlist likes to travel. Already in this series, we've taken you to Marrakesh, Beirut, Lisbon, and Barcelona. And it might surprise you to learn that one of the best cities in the world for global music fusions happens to be London. The British capital is a cultural crossroads, and this next story features two women whose families are from different parts of the world, but the thread that ties them together is Britain. Natasha Atlas has British and Arab blood, and both flow through her music. And then there's Bishi, a singer-songwriter with Bengali roots, raised in London, whose sound mixes the sitar with electronica, as well as a boatload of other influences.
My parents are Bengali, they're from West Bengal, and they moved to London in the 60s.
I mainly sing in Arabic because it's my preferred language to sing in. It's the best language in the world. It's the most expressive, the most poetic. It's just beautiful. My music is an expression of my duality, which is Anglo-Middle Eastern. So the influences are generally those two elements coming together in a fusion.
She does encapsulate a vast amount of history and a vast amount of culture in the very bones of her, so there's a great sense of this being translated with her passion and her interest in these different types of music.
When Natasha Atlas hooked up with Trans-Global Underground in the early 1990s, she was instrumental in creating a new style of fusion, combining traditional Arabic sounds with contemporary Western music.
In Trans-Global Underground, that was fusing with African, Asian, Hindi Bollywood soundtracks with breakbeats and elements of club music, but always with a very strong grounding and foundation in dub reggae. Natasha's very passionate about having elements of reggae, and the process of mixing and the soundscape that you create with reggae is a fantastic vehicle for Arabic percussion.
Atlas's most recent work with the Mazika Ensemble marks a return to her Arabic roots.
A young Finnish man came up to me and he said that he'd been a fan of my music for years and years. He really had this exotic image of the Middle East from my music, and he was so enamored by it that he went and learnt Arabic, and he spoke Arabic fluently. He spoke classical Arabic, and he spoke Arabic better than me. And that for me is one of the things that stick in my head, because if my music can inspire someone to learn to speak Arabic, then my job is done.
the elements of her traditional love of Arabic music with Western contemporary music. For example, Transglobal Underground. It was a very interesting opportunity as people living in multiracial societies, specifically London, because we were London-based, to make very natural connections with other musicians from different cultures. And Natasha was central to that.
London's cultural diversity makes it fertile, urban ground for fusion music. And Natasha Atlas is not the only musician stirred by Britain's multicultural capital. Bishi is a sitar-wielding singer-songwriter and DJ with Bengali roots. She lives in London and draws inspiration from a deep and eclectic pool of music. She takes on electronica, rock, Britpop, classical Hindustani, and more.
Never heard this song, but I know all the words to the song. I never heard the words I ever know. Never seen your face, but I think I am in love. Your face, I think I've seen love, never I know.
My influences are really wide. They really start from the Indian classical background, being trained in the piano. Through my background in nightclubs, there's quite an electronic and quite a club feel to it as well. The idea of fusion in music to me is about things trying to get along and things trying to be nice to each other, whereas I pick influences and it's not about these influences trying to be friends and trying to be nice to each other. It's about trying to thrash them out and trying to make them see eye to eye.
I don't think Bishi fits into the typical British Asian artist. I think she's a bit more experimental, a bit more genre-busting than that.
Well, growing up in between two cultures, having Indian parents but growing up in London has mostly been quite an isolating experience because I haven't felt that I've belonged. I've really had to embrace that space of isolation, and it's been very energetic because it's allowed me the freedom to be able to experiment and to be able to see and do and experience all sorts of things without fear of others holding me back.
Nights at the circus, days at the fair, while raising a glass, you could be anywhere. Nights at the circus.
Bishi's style of fusion works because it's not obvious. For example, isn't laying sitar riffs over a rock ballad. She's playing the sitar as it should be.
Bishi started playing the sitar at the age of 15. She was lucky. Her mother knew Ravi Shankar, the Indian sitar guru.
I actually take lessons from one of his head disciples. He's a Grammy-nominated sitar player called Gaurav Mazumdar. When I've been learning the sitar, you definitely feel the weight of its history.
Bishi also plays classical piano, bass guitar, and the ukulele, and isn't afraid of experimenting with other sounds.
Never seen your face, but I think I am in love. Your face, I think I've seen love, never I know.
Never Seen Your Face started much more as like a psychedelic pop record, and we gave it to a load of remixes, and Adam Sky came up with this incredible kind of drum and bass, electro bass line. We decided to take that and to edit it into the final single mix, and with that influence I was able to kind of almost bring a harder industrial edge to the record that I couldn't have done by myself.
London's social fabric is a fusion of more than 270 nationalities. Natasha Atlas and Bishi are two musicians with roots in different parts of the world. But there's something that's very London that lives in the both of them. The multicultural sounds of the City of London. A replay of that item is just a mouse click away. It's up on our website as well. The playlist is unique. It's the place where the sounds of heavy metal meet the world of Islam. We have that story and many more from the world of fusion coming up on the series. Here's a sneak preview. Islam meets the power chord. Middle Eastern death metal from Nerve Cell on the playlist. That's still to come on the series, but we're always looking for ideas and we're open to yours. Email us with your recommendations. We're at playlist@aljazeera.net. That's how you get with the program. We'll play you out this week with more of the sounds of Barcelona, Ojos de Brujo, and we'll see you next time on the playlist on Al Jazeera.
Ya enemigo que huye puente de plata, que cada palaguante su vela en esta cruzada, fabricando color, voy levantando los andamiajes de las palabras y de la calle de la rima voy, gris asfalto, letras de imposibles, ya apagando candela, tardan sueños invencibles, dices que no hay nada nuevo bajo el sol, no que te cierra, hablar de lo que una no sabe,